Bitte die Headsets aufsetzen.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me fine. I'm Yvonne from OMR Education, and I'm so excited to have Obi here with me, with their partners Valantic and Bloomreach, who are excited to present us their case today. I am eager to hear from you, so over to you, Manuel. Happy to have you guys, and then have a lot of fun.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. And a warm welcome also from our side. My name is Manuel. I'm the Director of Client Strategy at Bloomreach, and I'm really happy that we can really start the masterclasses today at OMR, the first masterclass of the day. So it's going to be very interesting because I'm hosting the first masterclass and also a last masterclass of today. So let's see how the attendance at the last masterclass is then going to turn out. Yeah, today we are going to talk about a case study together with a very famous brand. I think everybody knows it. We just talked about the the renewed mascot of the Bieber they are using now as Obi, so a very, very nice brand, how they are basically transforming their business. And yeah, basically today we are hosting this little session from Bloomreach. I already introduced myself, and I would like to hand over to my friend Niels, who is from Valantic and will introduce our guests today.
Thanks a lot, Manuel, and a warm welcome to everyone who's participating in today's masterclass. We are really happy to be back in Hamburg at OMR. We brought Max again. Actually, last year we had a panel discussion with him around the future of cross-brand CRM and cross-brand ecosystems. So we are super happy to continue this conversation today. And we are going to talk about the data-driven revolution in DIY retail, where I think Obi is really not only a famous brand, but also a pioneer in this field. And I'm really excited to hear from John Krieger about it today. He's SVP of Customer Management, Managing Director at Obi, has a background in CRM and loyalty at Air Berlin as well. So really a knowledgeable person, as well as Max, who's leading CRM for Obi, has a background in strategy consulting. So we have some really great speakers here. And personally, I really love the Obi story, so I'm excited to hear about it. My name is Niels. I'm a Managing Director at Valantic. We are the fastest growing digital consulting and solutions company in Europe, around 4,000 people by now, and we have the honor to support Obi on the DIY revolution journey together with the guys from Manuel and Bloomreach, and we are really proud of what the Obi team is building there, and that we can contribute to this. So without any further ado, I'm super happy to hand over to John to dive into the topic.
Thanks, Niels. Thanks, Manuel. Thanks for having us here. I'm excited too to be here on stage today. It's great to be back in Hamburg. Great to see you all guys here in the room. I will tell you a little bit about Obi and our transformation. But first of all, I would like to thank you guys as well. Thanks for organizing everything here. Thanks for having us on stage. Thanks for giving us the opportunity to tell you about our story of transformation, a classical retailer into a more digitalized business. And actually, when it comes to the content I want to share with you today, I asked myself, what is the reason why I am here on the stage? And I think the main reason is that I'm really passionate about building businesses based on strong customer relationships. And I really believe that this is a factor in transforming our classical retailer into really a modern company. And this is what I would like to share with you today, how we look on this field. And it's not only about sharing conceptual and theoretical slides with you, but I really want to show you how we did that in the past and how we look into our future. When it comes to retail, it's sometimes, let's say it's quite easy. It's a quite easy business because when it comes to retail, it's more or less about articles, it's about prices, and it's about the availability of a good article with a good price. That's more or less the essence of retailing. But that is something which worked out good in the past. But of course, that is more an in-house perspective on our business. That's not the customer view, because our customers, they have a completely different a completely different perspective on our business and of what we are doing, because customers, they think in use cases, they have wishes, they want to live in better homes and gardens, and that is something completely different to thinking in article prices and availability. Imagine a customer, for example, who want to have a great barbecue party on a terrace in its garden. That is actually what we are thinking about, and that is something, that is a use case for our customer. And we would like to be a part on it, be a companion in order to give our customers the chance to really build this terrace in his garden. And that is much more than availability and price. And I think you can imagine that the fact that we really would like to be a companion on our customers' way to build a terrace, they will ask us less and less the typical DIY big box question, where do I find this article and what is the price for it? They will ask us completely different questions. What, for example, they will ask us, how much is a terrace in total? Can I build this terrace in my garden, in my home? Is it feasible to my home conditions? Can I do it on my own? Or do I need a craftsman, for example, to build the foundation of the terrace, and can I do the rest on my own? And so the way customers interact with us is completely different. And this is actually based on the fact that we do not want to only sell the pure single article, but we want to sell a solution and become a partner from our customers. At the end, this will enable us, and I think we will have the opportunity to discuss it later on, at the end will enable us to steer our business completely different, because then we do not think anymore only in single article purchases, but more and more think about customer lifetime value, which is more or less a business metric to really become a companion for our customers. Probably you will think, well, did I came to Hamburg to listen that customer relationships are an intense and important factor for businesses? Probably not, because you are all marketing guys, you know how customer relationships belong to business, and that is something what is very crucial for companies today. But I would like to give you one or two aspects why I so strongly believe that in the DIY industry, in our industry, it is even more crucial, and why we have so many good circumstances to really become a partner for our customers. And the first is, remember my example of building a terrace. That is something completely different from a customer perspective than, for example, going to a grocery store. All of us, we can decide now what we want to have for lunch, for example. Go out, pick up our stuff, and have our lunch. So building a terrace has a much, much longer customer journey from inspiration, finding the right terrace, looking up stuffs. Do I want to have a Mediterranean terrace? Do I want to have a much more cool appearance of my terrace? Looking at all the information you need. Can I buy it on my own? Which machines do I need? Which articles do I need? Up to the process where you actually build the terrace, and afterwards you have maintenance of the terrace. So a lot longer customer journeys, which give us really the opportunity to be a companion for our customer during this long time. And on the other hand, it's about individuality, because we are not talking about something, we are talking about the homes of our customers, and the homes of our customers are something which is very, very emotional. It is something which is in the core of everybody of us, because living in great homes is something we all want to do. But on the other hand, it is something very individual. Every single home from us is absolutely unique and individual, and it's individual in the way we like to live, in the styles we like to live. It's individual in the way we spend money in our homes. It's individual in the way, in sizes, for example. Some of you might have a big kitchen, some of you might have a small one, some of you have a garden, some of you have a balcony, some of you have none. So individually is something which is not, for us, a marketing trick in order to increase opening rates or click rates of our email marketing. It's in the core of our business. And that is exactly what we want to bring together, long customer journeys and individually planned homes and gardens. And we did that in the past. And I told you, I do not want to always only talk about theoretical and conceptual slides. We did that in the past by increasing and building up our own DIY ecosystem for our customers. Because when I want to be a companion for our customers, it's always about creating value add for our customers. And the value add we created is actually, it's actually for our customers always combined with the stage of the individual customer journey. So, for example, we provide customers inspirational content. We provide customers advice so that they get all the information they need for their projects at home. We provide customers a customer card where they have good deals and loyalty aspects, a customer card where they have direct rebates, etc. So a lot of different products we built in the past, which you all find in our HeyObi app, for example. So if you go in our app, you find a lot of different service features which we built in the last years in order to create a value add for our customers along the customer journey. And that's not all, because it's not only the app, and I don't necessarily have to tell you here, guys, in the room. It's not only the app. We want to create a holistic experience for our customers, not only in the app, but also on our website, so that we have an overall experience for our customers. Having that said, that sounds very obvious, because of course today you do not want to have different experience in our app and in our website. But the crucial thing about us at Obi is we are a retailer. We have a lot of big boxes, and a lot of our business is done in our stores and markets. And this is a crucial touch point for us as well. So we have the strong belief at Obi that our markets, our stores, are also a very important part to integrate it in our overall customer journey. And therefore, we always build a lot of software, integrate our store employees in order to have them integrated and create a holistic experience for our customers throughout all different touch points. And this, at the end, gives us an overall view of all the different touch points and all the interactions with our customers in order to activate speak with customers throughout their whole customer journey, and not only in a marketing way, but always in order to create value for our customers based on their individual situation and based on their individual customer journey. And last but not least, this is the most important topic here. There's one connector in the middle. It's the Obi account, which you see here right in the middle. It's the connector between all the different touch points, all the different services, and all the different aspects of CRM and individual activation of our customers. And the account sounds a bit strange, because some people might think about software, some might think about a legal contract, but in the end, it's representing always a individual customer relationship from us with one individual customer at Obi. And how we would like to use this, Max will tell you a bit more about this, how we integrate that in our everyday business.
Well, John, thanks so much. I think from your introduction it became clear that we want to, or we need to build products and services that fit to our customer needs, which are really heterogeneous. What do I mean by this? You already started, but if you look at a human life cycle, you can already see, from all of you, that there are specific events that really trigger a high demand in DIY or home and gardening, and our expected CLV will accordingly increase. When you look at moving, all people who reallocate their homes, for them we need to provide services and content that fits the specific period of moving time. So we think about renovating walls, paintings, but also the moving process, like moving boxes. And this is very different from the perspective when you moved in. For example, look at a student or apprentice living in his or her first flat. Probably the budget is pretty small, and you look for affordable ideas still to make it a very cozy and comfortable home. So we need to provide you with inspirational products and contents that are affordable, probably competing with the likes like IKEA. This is different for house owners or people who move in their first property and suddenly owning a garden. You have to take care of it. You talked about the terrace, John, about all the stuff that comes along with the terrace project, with the gardening project. You have to take care of your lawn. We know from our data that taking care of a lawn is really something that people spend a lot of time with when owning a garden, because it takes a lot of time. It's really, really not easy, because you constantly have to take care of it and you have to do the right things. And that's something where we can provide value, even above the just selling products. So, and there are some other examples. For example, if you build a family, probably all of those of you who have kids know that you suddenly have an increasing demand in securing your power plugs and building new furniture like stuff for the kitchen to enable your kids to cook with you, etc. Or you really thinking about this really one dream project, like for example a pool in your garden. And this requires, of course, that we not only talk about it, but really talk about it with our customers. And for this, we need technology, not in order to really leverage from this digital customer platform that John was talking about. And during the last couple of years, we step by step invested in our marketing technology in order to really serve our customers then better and to offer these products and the relevant activation. Simply said, to use a little bit of buzzword bingo here, we want to serve the right customers, the right content at the right time. And for this, we need, for example, a customer data platform. And that's why we also work together with Bloomreach and implemented Bloomreach to exactly make this possible. And what Bloomreach can offer you, I guess Manuel will tell you in the next couple of minutes, and afterwards I will talk a little bit about our use cases, how we use the customer data platform in order to connect with our customers.
Perfect. So thank you very much, Max. So basically, how can we support a superior CX? Like in every good television show, there's always an advertisement block in the middle. So that's basically me at the moment. So I'm doing this short block of advertisement, and of course we go back to the nice show from the Obi guys. By the way, it's nice. I really see myself in the stories you just tell, because I'm just finishing building a house in Austria, and we are now at the moment to find a terrace. So if you have one of these nice 95% vouchers somewhere, I would be very interested in these. That would be great. Good. So yeah, what is basically Bloomreach offering in this whole journey? What we often see is basically, and you already saw this now in the story from Max and from John, is that of course it's basically across the whole journey. And when you think about it, you maybe start with a retargeting or a targeting on a social media post, something you really like, I don't know, a new product or something like that. Then you click on that, you come to a page which is completely unpersonalized. Sometimes it doesn't even bring the product or the stuff you just saw to the page, and then maybe when you start searching for this particular product, it gives you auto-suggest or stuff which is also irrelevant. So across the whole journey, often there are such big blockers in between. And this is basically, and as I said, I just would like to shortly introduce to you what Bloomreach in general, and then in particular also in the case of Obi, is offering. You see here, we are basically offering something we call a commerce experience cloud. It's basically comprised of 3 areas, or 3 pillars, solutions, modules, however you call it, which is the engagement module. This is, by the way, the module which is currently supporting Obi in the whole journey. We have a content module, which is more about the inspirational content. So when you then land on a page, that you can create meaningful landing pages, and a product discovery product. I also assume many of you are big retailers with thousands and tens of thousands of products. And this is, of course, often a very, very big challenge to find the right product. And Yeah, since, as I said, Obi is also one of my favorite brands. I just made an example here how this, of course, looks like in Obi. And this is an actual example, and you see that Obi is doing a great job here. You have here, for instance, this DIY Kartoffelturm, so the potato tower. And it's great because you get it on the Obi Facebook site. You then click on the link, and you get to an inspirational page where it starts with a nice video. You have then the description how you can build this project, and at the bottom there are all the products you need to build such a potato tower. And this is a great example of storytelling. You basically say, hey, don't you want you don't need a piece of wood, you want a potato tower. And in the end, then this comes here. And then, of course, also when you then maybe start searching for it, that even this project, because we know you come from there, is then also coming up as a search result or something like that. So great example, and I tried it myself. It really works. So we have there this conversion. So going further, the happiest customers we have are the data-driven creators. I think we all, yeah, of course, I just joked this morning with a couple of colleagues. We are here, I think I'm now here for the 5th or the 6th time or something like that, and we are over and over again talking about very similar stuff. Right customer, right time, right product, right channel. That's basically it. But the problem behind that is that we have just so much data, and somehow the creative side of marketing and the data science of marketing often were not even sitting in the same building. That's one of the big problems, and I think this is also the reason why many companies, they bring together in a special SWAT team, in a special force, these two areas. So really these data-driven creators. And here this is basically just as a architecture that you see how also a part of the solution that Obi is using, that you see basically it's not so difficult. It's really, there is one part of data ingestion, so we get the right data which is relevant for the marketing department from all the various channels. We then bring it into one single marketing view of the customer. And that's important. I only need the data that is relevant for marketing. You know, for instance, okay, we can now discuss about that. Payments data is maybe not something I really need in a marketing view, so stuff like that. And then, of course, we want to activate this. This is also important. Just knowing about the customer is not enough. You also have somehow to communicate this, as the Obi guys already said, via the different channels. This can include offline and online channels. And what we as Bloomreach have now brought out, and this is now just an example of how these solutions work together, is something we called real-time customer segments. So that I can now leverage the segments I have, the customer data I have in the system, to immediately, in real time, personalize on-site for search, for editorial content, immediately on the page. And this is, I just would like to give you an example now. Yeah, I'm building a house, so a garden house is also something which is top of mind at the moment. So let's assume I go to the page of Obi and I'm looking for einen Gartenhaus. Good. In the background, we have data about our customers. So these 3 customers are searching for it. You see here we have three people. I just have an example here of what kind of data you can have in the background. First-party data, who is buying what, who is interested in bestsellers and stuff like that. And basically, they, of course, now in the CDP, in the customer data platform, based on this information, we are able to create segments according to the behavior, first-party, zero-party data of the customers. But the problem is still today in many companies, when these 3 customers are searching for a product, they will receive the same product. That's not bad. It's revenue optimized, bringing the right product on top is nice. But we have just seen, we have a luxury person, we have a functional person, and we have a loyal person. Of course, these 3 maybe want different products. And this is actually the vision we have as Bloomreach, or not vision, this is basically the product we are providing out of the box as Bloomreach, so that we can provide automatically. Of course, manually curating this is not a problem. You can, of course, put 10 people into a room and the whole day just think about the product grids for each and every customer, which is, I think, a little bit difficult to actually scale this up in the future. So this is something that we take the customer data and the product data together to then service each and every customer the right information and especially the right product. So we know that, for instance, the lady, she's more luxurious, so we have here a product a little bit higher, and we know the loyal person is somebody who likes bestsellers, and then automatically this stuff is, of course, then provided there. And I just, to illustrate this to you shortly, I just thought I'm giving you a short live demo, how something like that could look like in a system. And for this, just bear with me, I'm just have to shortly go over. So what you will see now on the screen is on the left side, you see the customer side of it, so the customer information. And on the right side, I will simulate a website. In this case, of course, I have a website, a furniture store. So basically what I'm doing now, I'm just going into my demonstration here. So basically now on the right side you see a window of a shop. It's basically a very simple shop. It's nothing fancy. It's basically about furniture, a furniture shop with certain aspects. And now, of course, I have a little thing that helps me here, so I can now find the cookie ID, so that I can now show you on the left side that in real time the information, the browsing behavior is coming in. So when I now copy the link address here and I just paste it over there, you will see that in a couple of seconds a customer profile is coming up. I assume I have to log in again because the system was idle for a couple of minutes. So when I now go in here, you see that, yeah, as I said, I have to re-log in. You see that I get the customer information and already the behavior the customer had and the segments the customer is assigned to. So you see now we have here one customer, and if I now enlarge a little bit this screen, you see now on the right side that I had the first session starting on the 9th of May. So it's really in real time I got the information of the behavior of the customer on the site. So basically just opening the screen already stored all this information you see on the left side. And what I also have here, it's of course a very simple example, but I'm here in the high-low value segment in the other segment. So I have not enough information yet to put the customer in a certain segment based on the behavior. So what I'm doing, I'm now going back to the right side, so basically to the customer view, and I'm doing a very simple search. I'm searching for a chair. So when I enter now, you see that now basically a normal product grid is coming up. All of this is automatically curated by Bloomreach. And you see it's just a product grid because I don't know yet. This person who is browsing here is currently in the other segment. Yeah, but you know, currently I have to economize a little bit, and I'm not looking for one of these expensive chairs. I'm just clicking on this $130 chair here. So I'm interested in this one. I have a look at it, and I go back to the home page. And now on the on the left side, if I just reload here in real time, the segment of the customer based on the behavior has automatically changed, because if I go into the segmentation, you see now the customer is in the low value segment. Of course, it's a very simple case just to illustrate how this works. But you see it's in real time, and this can also be applied for anonymous customers. So it's not only for known customers, where of course we have a lot of data, it's also about anonymous customers. And if I go now back to the right side and just search for a chair again, you see that now suddenly the product grid is not showing me this $1,000 product anymore. No, the product grid is automatically curated by Bloomreach to service the customers based on their behavior. And just give you an example, we have implemented this at a customer in the United States called Jensen. It's basically a bike retailer. They do everything with biking. And they've made a very, very simple segmentation. Road bikers, beginner mountain bikers, advanced mountain bikers, and the system over time automatically learned, hey, advanced mountain bikers, they really like the expensive stuff. Because when you go mountain biking, of course, you need the strong stuff, and that led to an increase of 8% of the average order value, because the system automatically realized, this is an advanced mountain biker, this guy gets the expensive tires first. So, and in the end of the day, let's be honest, it's all about making more money here, I think. That's basically the basic thing we all try to achieve. Good. This was just a little sneak peek here. What basically the system in the background. I just thought giving you a short demonstration how these systems really can collaborate, and 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It's actually equaling. Its equation goes to 3. And just one last aspect of the advertisement block. So now we come back to the story. Don't bear with me for another 2 minutes. So basically, also when it comes down to apps, I think Obi is very, very strong in the app area. So app is a sticky. We always say mobile is engagement, but having the app of the brand means that you are married to the brand, because it's a much stronger relationship. And you see that this is a statistic from eMarketer, that you see minutes spent on mobile devices, web versus app. And you see in 2022, 91% of the time people spent on their mobile devices were spent on the mobile app. So it's a very, very important channel, of course, besides also the web app. But this is actually what we as Bloomreach also bring out of the box, the whole integration into mobile. Mobile commerce is going to be even more important in the future. So you see what kind of channels we are actually appreciating there, from SMS. Customers in average check 11 times a day their SMS, so it's also a very sticky channel. You have in-app messages, mobile push, and the app inbox, which is actually great because you have then a general inbox to really have all the personal messages you send. Hey Manuel, what about the terrace you want to build and stuff like that, so that we can bring this together. Yeah, this brings me to the end of the advertisement block, so handing back over to my colleagues from Obi. Just here, one last overall, let's say, overall view. What is basically Bloomreach doing? It's about getting the data from all kind of channels, creating one single customer view, and then being able to communicate via email, SMS, mobile app, ads, or whatsoever, so that you are able to really inspire your customers. And this brings me back to give over to Max.
All right, thank you.
End of the advertisement block.
Well, thanks, Manuel. Of course, you correctly compared your use cases to Obi. Of course, the data you've seen on the slides are different data than we know about our customers. And I just want to give you a brief overview how we...
That's good.
You hear me? Yeah. A brief overview how we apply this customer data platform in order to better communicate and interact with our customers. The first thing is that we really want to provide content and products that make us more relevant in the daily life of our customers. In the classical retailing DIY industry, customers went to the stores for 5 to 7 times a year. That's all the customer touch points we basically as an Obi also had. Now with the digital platform, we're able to interact on a way more frequent basis. And this is, for example, due to our products that we build. And the care calendar is one example of this, because as a customer you can choose from 150 different topics, whether it's taking care of your lawn, as I explained earlier, or just planting herbs, or the potato tower, so planting potatoes, as you said, Manuel. You can choose your different topic, and then we can provide you with the relevant information, with the relevant content. We can activate our customers exactly on the content that is fitting to the plan, and we also know when customers have to do what. And to give you an idea on how this works, let me show you a quick video. It's in German. I guess most of the crowd here will be able to understand what's on there. But I think overall the product is also kind of understandable in English. Was it too loud? Sorry. Then can you turn down the volume, or is it not possible? Maybe I can. Okay, watch out.
Watch out.
We'll try it a second time. I guess you turned it down a bit, hopefully. So that was a quick check if everyone is still awake with the music. But in the end, I guess you get an understanding on that we're not only talking about communication, but really serving the customer better, building a product that enables us to become more relevant, and then increasing our share of wallet because we just have the relevant topic. A second use case that we're really focusing on is really on building better customer relations. And that's also, of course, a bit of a buzzword, but the platform enables us to strategically and holistically collect feedback from all the touch points that we have with our customers. Whether it's after a store visit, whether it's in a newsletter, or any other digital touch point on our digital platform obi.de. Whenever customers give us feedback, and it's now millions of volume, we can understand which type of customer is happy, which is unhappy, and why are they happy or unhappy, and not only collect this feedback, but also act on it. Yeah? So improve customer relations by reacting on unhappy experiences, but also learning where are customers really happy, where our services and products are really good, and leveraging on this one. And as a third use case, and John talked about this before as well, we really want to become a companion at our customers' individual use case. And these use cases are really different. Yeah? We talked about the terrace, but even looking at the garden, there's so many different use cases, and we want to be relevant with by accompanying you. I've tried to avoid that word in English, but accompanying you along the journey wherever you need help, whether that is advice on a specific problem, whether that's inspiration, planning, tooling to better plan your journey, or whether it's in the end, in the after-sales services, how to take care of the use cases that you're working on. So, of course, we use these segmentation methods that Manuel showed you before to really understand which customer is conducting or spending time on which use case in order to accompany through the whole journey. So these are 3 examples where we really try to leverage on the digital platform information that we have, the more interactions we have with our customers and consumers, to really provide services and benefits that make their life easier, and by doing so, not lose our customers, but in the end increase the share of wallet that they're spending with Obi. So as a wrap up, I think you get a good idea about how we use the CDP. And maybe Niels, now it's your time to take over to share your perspective on how Valentic looks on this.
Great, thanks a lot, Max, John, Manuel. I think it was really great to see what the team has built there. And I believe you could say this is for sure one of the most state-of-the-art customer journeys in DIY retail, for sure. Yeah, so check mark on that. But we labeled this masterclass also the data-driven DIY revolution. Okay, there was a lot of data, but where's the revolution so far? I mean, this is something that we would like to look at. And at Valentic, we try to take it kind of to the meta level as well. Of course, we have the guys who can implement this technology, who can do the use cases, who can write the templates. We are working on ChatGPT and other generative AI technologies to increase the speed in creating the code for these things. So that we have a lot of tech guys, but when we think about a case like Obi and what we have just seen, there were a lot of investments. Manuel said, okay, at the end of the day, it's about making money. So far we saw there's a nice app being built, there's a lot of content being written, technology implemented. So why is this happening? And we look at the structures that we see in markets and societies and the environment that our customers operate in. And therefore we use traditionally use 2 sources. So Zukunftsinstitut and Trend One are two of the sources that we use also to monitor trends that are going on in societies and industries and markets. And as we all know, probably difficult to read, but there are things like individualization, urbanization, neo-ecology. So there are a lot of things and trends that are happening in people's minds. And I believe the COVID years were probably some of the best years in the DIY industries for a long time. People stayed at home, people spent a lot of money on their homes. This whole topic of individualization, people are wanting to do stuff themselves. Now we are talking about a shortage in carpenters and people who are actually able to deliver these projects, because yes, it's nice, I have an app and I get the right products for my terrace, but am I a carpenter and am I able to build a terrace now? For sure not. Yeah, so I think it goes a lot beyond this. Now inflation, rising costs, people probably have less money to spend maybe on professionals doing the projects for them, so maybe this is a positive trend, again impacting the DIY trend. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And then on the other hand, there are a lot of technology trends that are emerging, that are maturing, but then also things like platform economy. I think most people know about it for sure by now. Things like direct-to-consumer, cross-industry ecosystems. And if you think about a traditional retailer, this is also what we are seeing in other industries. For example, in grocery retail, yeah, you see Mars in a power struggle with Edeka. So they are saying, are we listed and being sold at Edeka or not? And what are the margins? And so you have suppliers in this whole world, in this whole game. You not only have the consumers and then the retailer, but you have suppliers or partners, how you want to call it. So there are a lot of things going on. And what we like to look at are three perspectives that are very important to take into consideration. So what is the business opportunity or the business model at hand that we are trying to implement in doing great stuff like building the Hey Obi app and ecosystem in this case? What's the customer experience that we need to create in order to reap the benefits or the opportunities that we see? And I think that was a really great example of a great customer experience. So I think check mark on the X, check mark on the technology. Manuel gave us a great mini demo. But when you think about what does that mean for our business model, it's a lot about how do you go from product leadership, what John mentioned really during his introductory speech, so having the right products for the right price, etc., moving to a content leadership as well as a service leadership, yeah, in order to make sure that people are successful in realizing their DIY projects that they have. So these are the different perspectives that we take into consideration when we start these implementation initiatives, and I think the Obi guys have done a really great job already and are really far ahead in this regard. The end result is that, you know, customer relationships become much more complex, but also much more direct. Yeah, so if you have the manufacturers, I don't know, in this case Mars and Edeka, but it could also be Kärcher and Obi or Gardena and Obi or whoever is out there. You see a lot of companies going direct to consumer. Tomorrow we have a masterclass where we talk about loyalty programs. Yeah, so Krombacher, Jägermeister, different FMCG companies are all trying to get to know the end customer. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we see. And in light of this, I would like to ask some questions towards Max and John. Starting with, you mentioned that there's an offline aspect. You still have your stores for sure. But if you think about that, everything that we have seen today was about digital. We saw an app, we saw content, we saw newsletters, we saw digital activations. The projects are happening offline. There's no more offline business than building a terrace or building a pool or stuff like that. So I would like to dive a little bit deeper into how do you manage this cross-channel experience.
Okay, I'm gonna start. You can add some words, Max, if necessary. Yeah, Niels, I think so from my perspective, I probably would say that there's not necessarily a differentiation between an online and an offline business. That's exactly what I would try to state in my first speech, because I think digitalization is something which is not limited to cool front ends or tech stuff. That's something you really have to live in your organization. And maybe I give you an example. I mentioned that we have a integrated in our Hey Obi app, we have a customer loyalty card. That is, from a digital and tech perspective, a quite easy thing. I mean, it's a code you have to show during the cashier process. The crucial part of it, that it comes to life, it's in the process, it's in the stores, it's about talking to our employees, it's about integrating people, train them, making them curious about what is coming next. So that is a crucial part, and that is exactly how we like to tackle things at Obi, because therefore you have to, at a very early stage, you have to integrate all the colleagues and all the stakeholders when it comes to product design and digitalization. So it's not about an online and an offline business. So the stores are a crucial part in our digitalized business as well.
Max?
Yeah, and I think from a growth perspective, we wouldn't neglect the stationary stores. It's where we earn money today, and we're still thinking about ways to grow also in our stationary presence, whether that's with partners, our franchise partnering system. And so I think, as John said, it's an integral part of our business, and we have it always in focus when talking about the digital customer journey, that a lot of it happens in the end in the stationary part.
For sure. So yeah, I guess very important. And if I look at my own behavior in DIY retail, I'm not going to bore you with my home story now. But if I look at my behavior, I go to the DIY retailer to really buy bits and bobs, like small parts for my sprinkler systems or things like this. And I've gone through the DIY journey. So I've built a jungle gym for my children. We have a swim spa in our garden. We are thinking about solar energy on our roof. So things like this. And you are talking about it, but I think what I'm questioning, or what I'm wanting to know more about from your perspective, how do you even want to do that? Yeah. So you want to be a companion in these journeys. You want to access these lifetime events. Do you have the products? Do you have the knowledge about it? You know, I was talking to some guys who are carpenters, who are building the terrace around it, who are planning this. So coming from a traditional retail business, where do you gain the knowledge, and do you have all the products also to realize these big projects in the home and the garden?
I'm gonna start. I think, Niels, the underlying question is probably a bit how we integrate partners in terms of knowledge, and we do it at Obi at several parts of our business. So we are partnering with franchise partners, for example, and they have a very strong business background. They know, and they come probably from other businesses which are kind of related to DIY. So there's a lot of knowledge, but also in our employees, in our whole staff, there's a lot of knowledge. So sometimes it's not perceived that good, because it's quite difficult as a customer to perceive it, because you really have to match to the right person. But there is a lot of knowledge we integrate. And of course, we are always open to discuss, and probably that's a good invitation for our CEO speech at the big stage, because we strongly believe in partnerships. And there will be some partners who bring additional knowledge, because a lot of these things we talked about is based not only on digital front ends, data and customer behavior. It's really based on knowledge sharing on how to do it right.
And I think just to follow up on that question, so I think that relates a lot also to the topics that we saw of service and content leadership. And of course, I was challenging you a little bit now. So personally, I do use the Hey Obi app, and I'm super happy with the recommendations and the content that it gives. I guess where I was also going is a little bit the organizational aspect. So I know around the Pflegekalender you have a lot of knowledge in there. And what would be interesting is, of course, you have guys who are content managers and so on and so forth. But maybe you can elaborate a little bit how you also got the specific knowledge. How do you prune a rose bush, or how do you How do you nurture your lawn optimally? How do you integrate this knowledge into your digital capabilities?
Luckily, it's not Max and me writing the content.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe to answer, I think there are two questions in there. To answer the first part, of course, we really try. I mean, with the content part, we really try to include cross-functional teams, and this not only means agile work with designers, but also with experts who are craftsmen in the field who know how to really take care of your garden. So from very early beginnings, we were sitting together with experts and bringing this expertise in the content. But I think the other question that also I kind of heard in between the lines is how do you get the data? Do you have enough customers? Is your transformation finished already? And I would say that of course that's not the case, but we have built in the past couple of years build up this ecosystem, as John said, and we have millions of accounts, over 5 million accounts within there who use these products, who actually interact with us on a way more frequent basis as we were used to, as said before. Classical visits in the store, in DIY retailing 5 to 10 times a year, and now we are actually able to connect with our customers way more frequently, 50 times a year. And these are contacts, either opening an email, being on the platform, or in the store. And this is almost every week, except for Easter and Christmas. I stole that from you, John. So we see that, on a broad basis, it's actually working, and we're able to really become more relevant in customers' lives.
Totally agree with everything that has been said. And last question from my side, and then we would also like to invite you guys to ask any questions towards John and Max, but also Manuel and myself. Of course, we have some time left, and we are happy to go into a Q&A. But again, relating to the, let's say, business model part of the BXT, talking about the money. Okay, you mentioned you have really experts who helped you write this content. You have hired great talent. You have invested in these great customer experiences. A lot of companies are talking about retail media nowadays to monetize these 5 million active users that you mentioned, Max. Is that something that's also relevant for you? How do you think about monetization of what you are building there? And then I guess that's where we are coming to towards the data-driven revolution also a little bit more.
Well, of course, Manuel said in between it's about making money, and of course we want to be commercially successful at the end, and we want to increase the share of wallet with our customers. And as John said before, of course we're thinking about partnerships. And you said retail media. Of course, we want to offer our suppliers a chance to participate in this interaction with our customers and offer this customer access to our suppliers. This is why we also have a really nice booth here at OMR with our experts from our retail media group, which are happy to answer all of your questions or get in touch with you if you're interested. I don't see a person right here from the teams, but we will be present in Hall A. You can't really miss the booth because it's nicely positioned, so come by and meet us there. And maybe, as you mentioned, we also had to change the organizational setup. John, that was also something that we were working on.
Yeah, exactly. I think you see our office here. It is basically based in Cologne, and we try to establish a new kind of work together at Obi. So not only the retail media guys are happy to discuss with you. So if you are interested in the way how we work and in our products and how we use data to activate our customers, come around to our very nice position, and we are happy to discuss with you whether today or later on our little party. So you are all invited to come around.
And by the way, if you are at the Obi booth, it's just a very short walk to the Bloomreach booth as well. We're just around the corner, so visit us as well.
Yes. All right. So
I think the promise is still up, so if there are any questions, feel free to raise your hands. And we will come around with the mic.
Sollen wir den Obi-Kollegen...
Not so far, so I will ask one more question, which just came to my mind because you mentioned CLV. And now we talked about monetizing via retail media. Do you see some potentials for conflict, or how do you steer monetizing on the activity that is there versus traditional CRM and conversion?
No, we don't see a conflict there. I mean, there may be some conflicts in everyday business, that's for sure. But at the end, it's all about good customer relationships. When we establish them, when we get our customers active, we all benefit from it. Our customer benefits because they have good products, they have a value add. We benefit because we have an active customer base and we can steer our CLV better. And at the end, the retail media colleagues also benefit because they can use it to, at the end, steer their media better, business better. So, yeah, there may be some conflicts in everyday business, but not in the end and not in the target.
So I guess that's part of business, right? There's a question right there in the back. I will come around.
Ja, muss sie dann, glaube ich, wiederholen. Ja, wir hören die Frage natürlich nicht. Ja.
Can you hear me? Yeah? They can hear me. Okay. I'm just curious to know how you get your staff members involved, because your stores are your main business. So we saw a lot of digital things you told us. How do you get your staff members involved in the process of customer relations?
So the question is, how do you get the staff members involved?
How do we get the staff members involved?
Like retail.
So great question. The question was going towards how do you involve the staff in your retail stores on the floor? You were talking a lot about digital stuff, but how do you take them on the journey, and how do you involve them in what I guess you mentioned as cross-channel?
Oh, a colleague from a stationary retailer. Good question. I mean, that is something which is quite important for us in everyday life, because we know that this is the biggest lever for our success. And we invest a lot in trainings, really, and I think we really found a new way to motivate them in order with classical meetings in our stores. But again, we have also rolled out a software with which we can directly contact every single colleague in the store, and that's also something which is quite crucial, especially when it comes to rollout of digital aspects of our business. But maybe we can discuss it later on. So come around, and because it's a bit weird, we don't get the question here.
Yeah, but in the end, as you said, John, I think we're trying to build this platform not only for the end customer, but for the employees. There's another question there, and I'm going to go there.
Hi, this is Katarina from Fresnov Maxi-Zoo, and we have a similar approach when it comes to pets, because we want to build an ecosystem and we want to be the caretaker. I'm curious regarding the plant advisor, let's say. There's a lot of effort that you put into this kind of approach. Do you have numbers for us that you're still building on the community that takes the approaches, or do you have a return on all the effort you put in?
So I don't think I can give you the exact return on invest on the care calendar figures here, but of course what we constantly try to do, and that's what I try to tell you when talking about how this works, how many interactions do we get, how much more share of wallet can we reach with our customers, and that's something that we definitely track on a regular basis. Is it do we have the figures and chances to spend more monies within the ecosystem than outside? And if you listened to the OMR podcast of Sebastian, our CRO. He also elaborates on this a little bit, that we have good evidence that a lot of these things work, but in the end, of course, you have to optimize it. So we're not there yet. So of course, we also brought our Beaver for support. I hope you definitely took one or two key messages away. If you didn't, you still have a chance to take a photo and at least take the Beaver home with you. Yeah, so, any other questions? Oh, yeah.
Hi, Matteo here. I have just a quick one. It seems like you guys have a really cool collaboration going on between like different teams. You didn't mention many challenges. I can understand there are a lot of them, but it seems like you're very positive. You're trying to work around it. But can you mention a couple of these challenges that you have, maybe with the cross collaboration? Because I can imagine, you know, you have app, you have different things, and how to improve that. Did you?
You said you have a quick one. That's not a quick one. Yeah, it's well. We had a lot of issues on that. Honestly speaking, and I think that is something you all know. And with all the Huobi stuff, with creating the new services, we started app only. That was not integrated with the website. The website was mainly our e-commerce store. And now we try to integrate both worlds much more and much better for our customers. But that's a journey, and that's a journey in a mind shift from the teams and also in the organizational stuff. Because when it comes to tech and organizing tech teams, app tech delivery works completely different to web topics. We are still looking. I think now we've found a good way to stabilize our tech delivery, but that's still a challenge for everybody involved, so for the product owners as well as for the tech teams.
Hi, I have a long question. If you look at Amazon, you get everything you want, and it's the offer is like unlimited. Now, if I look at Obi and go into an Obi shop, you have unfortunately non-stretchable shelves. Now, how do you see? Because I understand that the things you do online are sort of adding to your local offer. Will you enlarge your online offer and have like a little bit the ROPO? Will you try to focus on the ROPO effect?
Ist aber die.
Ich habe es noch nicht mitgekriegt, Max.
Geht es nur darum, Stationary Business zu pushen, oder versuchen wir auch unser Sortiment zu erweitern Richtung Amazon? Yeah, because I heard the question. So, as we said, I think of course, we focus on our stationary business as the core driver currently. But if we really want to sell our customer solutions, and you mentioned Amazon, we don't want to become Amazon because it's clear that we can't compete on the product range and the service Amazon is providing. But of course, we need to, like the things that we are trying to successfully create with our customers, we need to completely and comprehensively offer to our customers. That's not depicted in our range currently. Of course, we need to think about ways how to make that possible.
But maybe just to add to that, on a follow-up, what I saw, I mentioned solar panels on my roof, which is something that I also saw something on your website about. This is something that I wouldn't traditionally see in a DIY retail store. So maybe if it's close to the current portfolio of products, I guess that's where you're going. Maybe also towards the what I mentioned, the pool topic. So maybe you can also elaborate a little bit what would be interesting areas to venture into, to expand into, and also in which mode of collaboration.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, your solar panels, of course, are a hot topic at the moment, and we always, I mean, at the end and in our heart, we are retailers, and we always look for opportunities to better sell products for our customers. That's true. And I mean, it's also true that we always look for partnerships where we can add a value and know for some things where partners are probably better in doing some things. And then we try to bring different perspectives, different offers, services together. And then in the end, works out quite good. And of course, digital touchpoints helped us in the past a lot to do that quite quickly, or more quickly, as it is always possible to roll it out in our whole OBI network.
So if there are no questions for the auditorium, we can still, of course, keep the discussion going on stage, and you can ask us directly. So I guess that's the case. We also have, the Beaver has, of course, a little gift for you that you should take home and, of course, benefit from this masterclass on a third level. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you had found some good insights.
Thanks a lot, Max, John, Manuel. I think there were really some, on different levels, some great insights. So thanks a lot, and thanks to you guys for participating.
Wollen wir kurz wir alle zusammen kurz ein Foto mit dem Biber machen?